Look, they need your name and date of birth.
Yeah?
Where it says. What's the matter with you today?
Sometimes I don't think you want me to go to university.
Of course I do. I'll miss you. That's all.
I'll miss you too. Anyway, I'll see you later.
Fine.
Let me help you. I'm calling an ambulance.
I said, I'm fine.
Don't make me ring again, Bloom, OK? Just call. Ah, can you ever listen to your voicemail?
The battery was down. Got your latte. Sorry about last night. We had a date, didn't we?
Well, it wasn't a date, was it, Bloom? It was a social drink with a colleague, but, yeah, you stood me up.
Something happened.
And you're not going to tell me what that was, right?
What's the commotion?
There's a DNA trace on a wanted criminal.
You're kidding me. Is that Nadia? You found Nadia? I remember Nadia from when I was a kid. I thought she was really, really cool.
If for a bank robber?
It was a political thing. They were into wealth redistribution. Hold it there. Zoom in on her face. How do we find her?
Paramedics picked her off the pavement after an RTA. She struggled, wouldn't let the doctors examine her. Her behaviour was so strange, they thought she had a brain tumour.
When the test proved negative, they guessed there might be another reason why she didn't want medical attention.
So they called CID.
And CID called us.
Why won't you let us in?
I know this
I need to see my wife. She's been
We have
injured.
to talk to your wife alone.
Is it about the accident?
Yes, it's about the accident.
So what's the idea? We just ask her nicely and she tells us the truth.
Well, the idea is we get a confession out of her.
What, before she gets herself a lawyer?
The DNA test we took was without her consent.
Yeah, and not to mention a total violation of her human rights.
So we need something that'll stand up in court.
And do you really think Nadia's going to give us that after 25 years on the run?
Hang on. Live feed is coming through now.
Interview with Miriam Brolin. Those present, DSI Lawson and DS Waring. Have you ever been a member of an organisation known as the Armed Proletarian Front?
Ridiculous.
Just answer yes or no, please.
No.
Did you rob the M&V Bank in South Shields, August the 3rd, 1981?
No.
No.
That's one of her comrades. He blew the guy away in the bank.
And he's out now.
They release.
Have you ever used the name Nadia?
Wait for it.
No.
Come on. Gotta be a better way than this.
Do you recognise this man? Well, you should do, Nadia. Because you left him to die after Marco Robson had shot him in the guts.
Poor man. I told you. I'm not Nadia.
Be back in 6 rooms. There he is, Marco Robson. Trial judge called him a mindless fanatic.
Mindless. Seems a bit harsh. Wouldn't ask him to babysit, though. Day release. How come he's still serving time?
He never showed remorse.
It's after 10:30.
Sorry, Mrs. Broadfoot.
Can't go on, Marco. In my office, now.
What's the problem? Bit of a slow puncture there in the offside rear.
Bloom, what are you doing?
Watching Larry, Constable.
There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the tyre.
Oh, yeah? You sure? Thought it was flat this morning.
Can I help you?
Detective Inspector Bloom. We're looking for a suspicious vehicle.
Well, you won't find it here.
Do you mind if we take a look?
Couldn't be this one. It only came in yesterday.
Yeah, well, the incident was yesterday.
Marco, where are the keys?
They should be there.
I'll have to search the premises, I'm afraid.
Bloom, don't.
Is this yours?
Yeah.
Go on, Constable, after him.
You know I had nothing to do with that car.
Now what's happening?
Why am I here? You'll see.
What the hell's going on in there?
Dad. Bloom, what are you doing?
What's this about?
Thought you might like to see an old friend.
Watch out for it.
Who is this?
Don't even know who you're fitting up. My name's Marco Robson.
Miriam, are you all right?
Don't say another word, darling.
Why didn't you warn us?
You might have given the game away, spoiled the impact of the confrontation.
Only there wasn't any impact.
That was her husband, Jacob Brolin, or rather his lawyer.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we can't talk to Miriam again without making a formal charge.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on. But this was a classic example of failure to communicate, and it must not happen again. Is that understood?
They were already in contact.
What?
It's the only explanation. Marco and Miriam recognized each other. They both chose not to show it, which means they both wanted to keep her identity secret.
I'm not listening to this.
What we should be asking is why.
All right. Why? Nurse? Are you all right?
Sorry. It's just my asthma.
Shall I call the doctor?
Spray in my bag. It's in there.
I'm not really meant to do this.
Thank you.
Hey, Martha. No, just a quiet evening at home. What?
She just knocked her out, disappeared. None of the nurses saw a thing.
Of course not. She's an expert.
Well, after all these years.
It's like riding a bike. You never forget. Anything else I should know?
Marco Robson's absconded.
The idea was to get her to confess. Instead, you panic her into doing a runner.
We employed a high-risk strategy, and with hindsight, I agree.
And now Marco Robson is on the loose. A convicted murderer and a suspected terrorist reunited thanks to us.
D.I. Bloom has a theory that they were
I mean, I
already...
don't need an identity unit for this. I've got ordinary coppers who can screw it up just as well. What traction have we got?
The PC at the hospital says she saw something before she was attacked by Miriam.
Saw something?
A black wig and a pistol in a brown shoebox.
So what's she going to do, hold up another bank?
We're working on it, sir.
This isn't an identity thing anymore. It's a manhunt.
She's trained in guerrilla tactics. Throw uniforms at this. You'll never see her again.
You still need help. Send him in, would you? I'd like you to meet DCS Robert Thacker. It was Bob's case long before it came to you.
These verdicts give me no satisfaction. Marco Robson, Andrew Mills, and Max Healy are behind bars. They will no longer kill and maim innocent people. But their accomplice is still at large. I make this pledge today. I will not rest until Nadia, wherever she hides, whatever she calls herself, is brought to justice.
They don't make them like that anymore.
Okay, let's get the simple stuff right this time, shall we? What do we know about the other two members of the gang? Max Healy and Andrew Mills.
Well, Andrew Mills died in a prison brawl, and Max Healy is now a doctor. Got out early after promising to be a good boy.
All right, let's pay him a visit. Anthony, I'd like to know what's driving these two. Nadia and Marco Robson.
Well, how about this? The struggle has many phases. Armed conflict may be followed by retreat by further consolidation.
But that's Marco's statement from the dock, right?
But the armed proletarian front will never be defeated. Do not misinterpret our silence. We will return when the capitalists are least expecting it. We will rain down fire upon their heads.
That sounds biblical.
It's a warning.
It's bullshit. Just trying to cheer himself up.
Nadia never turned herself in, though, did she? What's she been waiting for? What if they're planning to start all over again? Bombings, shootings, revenge.
You got it, huh? I thought you might change your mind.
After what you've been through.
Thank you, comrade.
Comrade.
Nadia.
Marco.
If anyone can find Nadia, it's this unit. I don't know if I can help, but I'm happy to try. I know what you're thinking. Why can't the old guy let it go? Well, I tell you, a man died that afternoon in South Shields. I promised his family I'd find Nadia, and I failed them. I don't want to retire with that on my conscience.
Well said.
Come take a seat.
He's a dinosaur. Give him a couple of days, he'll be asking me to make him a cup of tea.
He could be useful.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Don't want this unit looking like it can't do without the grown-ups. Oh, for God's sake, Bloom, you scared Nadia off. You get up there and find her before he does.
Did you ever hate me when you were in prison?
I was a soldier. I knew the risks. As long as you were free, they hadn't won. Hey, you did time too. All that suburban shit. House, family.
Get used to it.
Maybe she's been abducted. He's holding her against her will.
She assaulted a police officer.
That'll leave a mark. Miriam wouldn't like that. That's my room.
It's her room.
Yes. I know what you're thinking. We used to have a full married life. But recently, we were so close. Who is she? I don't know who she is anymore.
We never knew her other name. Everyone just called her Nadia, as if she came from nowhere. There were rumors she trained with the PLO. But the first we heard of her, she was sharing a squat in Notting Hill. That's where she met the others. They didn't do badly at first. They bombed a dole office, an embassy, the home of a Tory MP.
So why the bank job?
Well, the masses were meant to rise up and follow them. It didn't work out like that. After 6 months, they needed money and something to keep them in the headlines. And they managed that all right when they shot John Cray during the bank raid.
You never found the murder weapon, did you?
We had enough to put Marco Robson away.
Do you think she's still dangerous?
Nadia was a dedicated revolutionary. Just because times have changed doesn't mean she has.
You have a very clean house.
It's Mum's thing. It's not a crime, is it?
Vicky, your mother's living a double life. A lie.
It's not a lie. She loves us.
Constantly alert, constantly checking that you hadn't betrayed herself, covering her tracks. Any idea what that does to you? Not being able to show your whole self to the people that you love. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Because she confided in you. She had to tell someone. Come on, Vicky. What did she tell you?
You've got it wrong. She told someone else.
Yes, Miriam Brolin was my patient.
Why did she come to see you?
She had emotional problems she felt I could help her resolve.
And did you?
You'd like me to tell you what those emotional problems were?
Yes.
Even if I could, it wouldn't help you. Say a patient tells me he's killed his wife. Is he lying? Trying to provoke me? Acting out a violent fantasy? It might be any of those. It might even conceivably be the truth. But the one thing it's not is evidence.
You record your sessions?
I've got someone waiting.
Of course. Can I use your toilet?
Yep.
Okay, I've interviewed Dr. Max Healy, country practice, family, vulva. He's pretty embarrassed about his radical past. Says he hasn't seen Marco in over 20 years, but he made me swear I wouldn't tell him we'd spoken.
Why?
Well, he said Marco was convinced there was a traitor in the group. They'd never have been caught otherwise. Healy reckons that's why Andrew Mills died.
You mean Marco killed him?
Well, they were in the same jail, and Marco didn't send flowers.
Tessa.
Yeah. On the day of the accident, Miriam had been setting up her daughter's university allowance, a lump sum from her savings account. I'd describe it as generous.
You think she wanted to make sure Vicky was okay?
Could be.
So maybe she was already thinking about moving on. But where?
I can't help you there. She's not using her credit cards, not withdrawing cash, and there's no news from ports or airfields.
They've gone underground, getting ready for a campaign of violence.
Oh, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Miriam Brolin's not going on some revolutionary rampage. She's in therapy.
How'd you know?
I just saw her shrink. Dr. Nina Gearing.
So she's a psycho?
No, I'm just saying it's a personal conflict, not a political one.
You think she's having a breakdown?
Well, it can't be easy being Nadia.
So we're meant to feel sorry for her now? Like leading a double life some kind of disability?
That's the guy for drink.
Okay, you made your point! You! What are you doing here?
I can ask you the same question.
I'm trying to find out who Nadia really is.
Oh, don't bother. I can tell you.
Yeah, how?
I invented her. She's a copper.
You used us.
I had to.
You pretended we were working together, but really we were working for you.
I didn't know I could trust you. Her real name is Sandra Conway. She was one of my detectives. We turned her into Nadia so she could infiltrate the APF. That's how we got the collar.
Well, why didn't she give evidence at the trial?
We couldn't risk it. She went to pieces after the arrest. Maybe she felt she really was a terrorist. We couldn't just let her go. So we gave her a new life. In time, she got herself back together. She retrained, started a family, became Miriam Brolin.
Well, Wainwright was right. This isn't really an identity thing. You can have it.
No, I can't find it by myself.
Why don't you get uniforms involved? Why don't you just do this your way?
Oh, and let the world know she's a cop. She's out there with a guy she put away. What's he gonna do when he finds that out?
So why is she doing this? Why has she decided to become Nadia again?
Perhaps she's having a breakdown, like you said. Perhaps you'd never really get over something like that. But the point is, there's no way I can find her without the help of this unit.
Okay. From now on, we do things my way.
Just so long as we find her. She's still one of ours.
Nadia, also known as Miriam Brolin. Real name, Detective Sergeant Sandra Conway. Graduated Bramshill 1977, top of her year. Fast-tracked to higher things until she volunteered for anti-terrorism, where she was assigned to DI Thacker for the APF case, which had stalled. She assumed the character of Nadia and was recruited by the APF. When the APF went underground, she provided the crucial information which led to the arrests of August 1981. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, Bob?
Only that she was the best undercover detective I ever had.
She must have been highly motivated. She sacrificed her whole career for a single case.
Martha, this could be interesting. Max Healy is visiting someone at the Stella Hotel in Silvertown. Or rather, his mobile phone is.
You said he was for real.
I thought he was. He's still scared of Marco.
So, Max, how you been doing? How's the family?
They're fine.
We haven't seen each other since... Gosh, Warwick Prison, 1987.
If you say so.
The place hasn't changed that much. Everyone sends love, by the way.
The police been to see you? No.
He's lying. That's okay, Max. We were expecting you to lie.
They're following you? I don't think so. What's in here?
Something Robert Thacker wants very much. Takes you back, doesn't it?
What do you want me to do with this?
Make sure that bastard gets what he deserves. We've got visitors.
No, I didn't tell anyone, Marco.
We're gonna take this nice and gently.
Doing this your way, are we? I don't think they got the memo.
Freeze! Police, freeze! Freeze! Police, freeze!
Arrest him.
Mister! Stop! Armed police! Stop! Armed police!
But Healy?
I'll take that.
Shit. He's a decoy.
Hello, Sandra. Why did you give those to me? Gets tiring living a lie, doesn't it?
How would you know?
Got an active imagination. Come in, talk to us. We can help.
I doubt that.
Don't do it for yourself. Do it for Jacob and Vicky. They need you. They deserve it.
Come on, I've got a car.
Get in the car, Marco.
Oh my God. Bloom. Bloom. Oh my God, Bloom. You okay?
Martha, I didn't know you cared.
Nothing. They've gone off the radar.
Marco won't get very far with a bullet in him.
I didn't realize people were going to be shooting each other.
Neither did I.
I could get that to you.
So what happened? Was the old boy a bit too quick on the trigger?
Not quite as simple as that.
Well, I've got Max Healy in the interview room.
I'll talk to him.
No, I'll handle it.
Miriam!
This is my operation and I make the decisions.
I have prior experience of this suspect.
Max Healy isn't a suspect, he is a witness, and I don't want you talking to him.
Why not?
Because I think you're emotionally involved.
And you're not. Oh my God, Bloom. Are you okay?
Don't know what you're talking about. D.I. Bloom is a valued colleague. He has a unique experience and insight, and if I'm concerned about him, it's because he is an asset to my team.
There's nothing wrong with me, honestly.
I told Martha I'd see you safe home, and I will.
I'm perfectly fine. It's like... it's nothing.
Go for the minimal thing, do you? We want to get that stuff in the fridge.
I'm having a few friends around.
Really? You should get that head seen to.
Good night.
Why did you bring him here?
He's bleeding to death.
Don't use those.
We need antiseptic. And painkillers. Is this all we've got?
Well, I wasn't expecting a gunshot wound. He belongs in hospital.
Can't take gunshot wounds to hospital. They have to report them.
You've got to phone the police. It was the police that shot him. For God's sake, Miriam, stop this now before it gets any worse.
I can't do that.
January 17th, 3 p.m, Nina Gearing and Miriam Brolin.
Don't go away. Guilt. Gets more and more every year. I thought I could live with it, but I can't. I'm just not strong enough.
I just got a call from Marco saying he wanted to meet me. I had no idea why.
I believe you.
I don't know anything, really.
I said I believed you.
Nadia wanted me to take a gun that she had to a lawyer, get proper forensic tests done. She said it was the murder weapon.
But not Marco's gun.
No, that's the point. She was determined to get Marco's conviction overturned, prove he was innocent of John Cray's murder.
Why didn't you just take the gun to the police?
She didn't trust you. She thought you'd tell Thacker.
Tell me about Robert Thacker.
Stay away from him. Don't answer the phone.
Are you going to be long?
No, of course not, darling. We're just going to the hole in the wall.
That's got $5 grand on it. That one's maxed out. We can only take £300 a day on that one.
Well, we'll get what we can. They'll be traced within minutes anyway.
Why do you need all this money?
Got to get him to somewhere safe.
We all knew what would happen if they caught us. We accepted that. But I thought Thacker was going to kill Marco. They dragged him past me in the corridor. I didn't even recognize him.
He wanted a confession.
Yeah. And he got one.
Did he beat you up?
There was a bit of rough stuff. But nothing like what he did to Marco.
What was it? Jealousy? Did Thacker have sexual desires for Nadia?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Why? Were Marco and Nadia lovers?
It went deeper than that. She admired Marco. And Thacker knew it.
What do you want?
You're dying.
Yeah. More than lately.
I'm glad.
You know, we were so happy before you came along.
Don't kid yourself. I've always been there.
No, you haven't. See this? This was me when I was 11. And I lost a tooth, and Mum said I looked like Dracula. Where were you then? In this picture. That's Dad's sister, Annie. And she bought me that dress, and I hated it. I never told anyone else. This is us in Cornwall. And I met that boy. And I've never seen him again, but I know one day I'm gonna marry him.
Okay.
Yes, it's okay. Because it's my life, and she's my mother.
And she took me to school, and she cooked for me, and she read to me, and she slept in my room when I was scared, and you're not gonna take her.
Please. 14 Milson Way.
Please, you have to help me. That's the truth. Please.
Whoa. What is it?
I've been monitoring all emergency calls just in case, checking any names and numbers that might be relevant.
And?
Well, I've just picked up an aborted emergency call from this number. It's the Brolin house.
Vicky!
Mummy!
My God.
Don't hurt her. Please.
She was trying to call the police.
Let her go.
Marco, it's all right. I'm here.
We've got to get away.
We're going. We've got the money.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Tell me.
I'm Nadia.
Mommy!
Put the wig on. Put the wig on. Now I know you're mine.
Daddy!
What's going on?
We found an emergency call from the Brolin house.
Well, where's Thacker?
We thought he was with you.
You could go to prison.
I'm ready for that.
What about Vicky? She needs you.
She's older now. She'll manage. Jacob, get in the room.
For God's sake, Miriam.
Just get in.
If you want to go, go. I won't try and stop you.
Can't take the risk.
Leave her, Dad. She doesn't care.
I have to get him to a doctor.
He killed someone.
No, he didn't. I did. Hello, could I speak to Dr. Max Healy, please? Could you tell him that Nadia called and we're on our way over? Thank you.
You're punishing yourself.
Someone lost 25 years of their life because of me. Because I took the life of another human being. Because I took the life of another human being.
Nadia, is that you? For God's sake, don't come here.
I was dreaming.
What about?
That's gone now. Maybe that was the last dream I'll have.
Max will fix you up.
Yeah. Everything will be okay. And you can go back to your family.
What's going on?
Yeah, I need roadblocks. Tessa in my office will give you the details. What do you mean? Yeah, well, I don't need permission. I just need you to do it. What are you doing here?
Nadia, or should I say, Sandra Conway killed John Cray with a gun signed out by Robert Thacker.
Oh, that figures.
Little detail Thacker forgot to tell us.
Yeah, and not the only one. He framed Marco Robson, which is why he gave Sandra a new identity to keep her quiet.
And now she wants to see justice done.
Yeah, which would certainly make a mess of Bob Thacker's pension.
Send him to prison, more like.
Tessa.
The Brolin family car just went through a speed camera about 7 miles due south from you. They must be heading for Max Healy's house.
That guy in the bank, he wanted to kill me.
Yes.
But you blew him away. You saved me. Why did you do that? Was it because you loved me?
Of course I loved you. We were comrades.
Hello, Sandra.
Why do you call you that?
What do you want?
You know what I want. You, Sandra.
No.
Then give me the gun.
If you leave him alone.
Whatever you say. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
I'll shoot this scumbag.
Marco, it's all right.
I'm surprised he's still breathing. He always was a tough bastard. Well, Sandra, this really is goodbye.
Don't call her that!
What would you like me to call her?
Her name is Nadia.
You know your problem? You're taking too long to die. But before you go, there's something you should know about your Nadia. She is really...
Miriam. Nadia. Drop the gun. Nadia. Drop it.